We're entertaining people, Ian. That's what we do here. You know, the life's being squeezed from us. Talking about this stuff every week. Oh, hey, everyone. Welcome to the Completely Unnecessary Podcast for Tuesday, February 23rd, 2021, alongside Ian Ferguson.
Hello.
I'm Pat Contry. On the show today, we are very happy to be sharing all of this gaming news and events and societal issues with you this week. We'll be talking about Nintendo Direct news. We just missed it last week. Our most favorite convention of the year, BlizzCon, had some announcements. We're talking about Analog doing some awesome PR work. Legend of Zelda celebrates 35 years. Fives and zeros on the CU podcast, not 26 and 18 here. And a couple other topics. Ian, how was your weekend? Before I get into my fun-filled one.
I mean, my weekend was fine. It was very, very busy. I woke up on Friday. That was my day off, and decided to put in a full 8-hour shift in my kitchen. So I basically,
like Hell's Kitchen? Gordon Ramsay yelling at you?
I yelled at myself.
You donkey! Do you get mad at yourself when you fuck up when you're cooking?
No, I mean, yes, I can, but I mean, the entire reason I cook is that I generally find it to be a very relaxing thing.
I've been cooking more the past year.
I mean, that's why I enjoy it. But yeah, no, I cooked a lot on Friday. Worked Saturday, recorded extra napkins Saturday night, did a hangout for this fine podcast on Sunday morning.
And you wrote a little article for the Patreon.
Wrote a little article, yeah, because the rest of my weekend, when I wasn't working, I was playing the Guilty Gear Strive beta, which ended today. Full game comes out in April, and I haven't been that excited for a fighting game in a while. It was really fun.
Speaking of games, what is this, Ian? Our pals at at Retrobit.
Pals at Retrobit sent us these, and I checked these out earlier last week. It's the Toa Plan shooters. Much like all of their previous releases, this is actually really impressive. Just the amount of stuff that it comes with. These ones are actually all like slip cased and like look super. Check out.
Oh wow, it's like a VHS almost cover, and then you have the Genesis one. Here's this Truxton on here. Ooh, translucent, like a
puffy stickers
and everything, and puffy 80 stickers. Okay,
so that's what I've always liked about their stuff. They always load it up with like stickers, notebooks, postcards.
And thanks to Retrobit for sending that. And right now they're doing a little pre-order campaign for the unreleased in North America, the Undercover Cops Super Nintendo beat 'em up.
Yes.
You can pre-order that right now at a few different places. You can get it at our pals at Castlevania Games have the collector's edition for sale, and a couple other spots as well, including limited run games. Our pals there as well. You can pre-order there as well. I think it's the regular version. And if you haven't played it, it's an interesting beat 'em up. It didn't come out here. It's like futuristic. It's Undercover Cops, but it's in the future.
Did you cover it for a certain Super Nintendo book?
I believe we did cover it briefly in the unreleased, in the Famicom game section. We covered it.
Gotcha.
Thanks for plugging that for me, Ian.
You're welcome.
Thanks.
I figured we could get some plugs.
Oh, we're gonna replug. That's a pre-plug, and we're gonna talk about a game that looks like it has plugs in it later on, as well. So my weekend. Are you toasty, Ian? Are you toasty? A little toastier than usual here?
Maybe. Yeah. I'm comfortable.
The heat is back on at Castle Country officially. After like 7 weeks, I got used to the Spartan lifestyle of my electrical bill probably went up tons by using the big space heaters. Finally got furnace. Fine folks came here and they did it all in one day. They got here at 8 a.m., 8:30, and they're done by 5:30. Got the AC unit put on as well because I don't have AC downstairs. Most places in California don't have, San Diego don't have AC downstairs because it was like they made it just cheap enough to put in the extra money. They didn't want to lose money by not getting it. That's basically what they did. I was like, oh wow, okay, I'll spend $4,000 more and get it, even though I don't want to, but I should. So I'm all lined out, as Frank would say, with heat and with AC if I need it there. So the one thing that happened during the event, it wasn't awkward. I'll get to an awkward story in a minute from my weekend. But the guy, my rep from this company, he was a pretty solid dude. He seemed like a cool guy. He was ex-military. You know, he was great at customer service, checked in on me before, because I had questions. I got like 3 different bids, and one bid was fucking insane. It was more than twice the amount of this bid.
You were lower than you've ever been recently after that estimate. I remember. It was sad times for Pat Contry talking about it.
It was sad times when you talk about a potential $20,000 estimate. I only got the same thing for like 9. Like the same thing.
Thought you were going to pack a stick and bindle and just walk away.
Like the 1910s?
Start a new life in the middle of the country somewhere.
Like a hobo? Get on a train?
Yep.
Sleep in a train car?
Walk away from all your problems.
Hey, what happened to Pat? Oh, he's somewhere in Missouri right now on a train.
He did not want to pay to have his
heating. He just gave it all up.
So he just walked off into the sunset.
He took his top secret episode, and that's it. He left. He took his one game. So that was good. But the guy seemed like a really solid dude. So we talked a little bit. And there's one thing about me. Ian knows this.
All right.
It's very hard for me to talk to guys and sort of make that leap into, okay, I want to try to befriend you. I have not been good at it since grade school when we shared G.I. Joes and played on the playground. I'm terrible at it.
The social interactions are tough.
Well, I'm not tooting or anything, but it's a lot easier for me to communicate and get along with at this point in my life, women than with men for whatever reason. There's a lot of weird like barriers put up between men. There's like competitive stuff. There's alpha male stuff in there. There's a lot of stuff that I encounter.
I actually feel you on this. That's how I've been most of my life as well.
With women, there's not all these pretensions that there are with guys when it comes to interaction, at least in my experience. But this guy seemed like a cool dude. And so near the end, I was sort of like, I was like, hey, not like this, but I'm like, hey, my backyard's gonna get done after we get shots. I'll have a little get. You can come on over. And he's like, I think he respected that. Hopefully, it wasn't too awkward. Didn't think I was trying to hit on him. He's like, oh no, yeah, we'll have a beer. We'll chat it up. I never heard of that. We'll chat it up. I'm like, okay. I made a connection. I got his his business phone number. Maybe I'll awkwardly call him in 7 months. Once we all have shots, and Ian can come over with Vonnie. He can come over. He's married. He's married with kids. He can come over with his wife. We can chat it up. I can make a new friend. I need more male friends. Is what I'm saying locally. I have no male friends.
We can make fajitas on the grill.
We can make fajitas on the grill.
We can.
I told Ian that the glorious burritos. They were burrito fajitas. You think you coined that? Burritos that I used to make. So anyway, that was my one story. But then every year or so, the reason I love Curb Your Enthusiasm is because I lived that lifestyle. A lot of times I have social awkward moments happen. I don't care. I'll point out stuff. Like in the post office about the eyebrow raise already. Remember in the post office when I got dicked around and yelled at by the lady for not doing anything? So I basically responded back and not screamed, but I hollered and I said, I didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah, I remember.
Why are you yelling at me?
I remember you telling me that. Yes.
So that was I was literally
that's kind of what happened to me at the grocery store.
I said, I didn't do anything wrong.
I just asked for a bottle. I'm sorry.
I mean, so go back. That was like December 2018, I think it was. When I got thrown back and forth between 4 people in the post office, and they got more mad at me when they said go back to the original person. So they're like looking at me like, why are you back here? Because this guy told me to come back to you. I just want to know how to track my item. Anyway, so I want to apologize to someone because I might come off looking horrible, but to me this is how I live. So I went to the local grocery store. Mm-hmm. And it was like 15 minutes before closing. I like to do that sometimes because I don't get out at all. I have no social interaction besides maybe trying to hit on my sales rep for the furnace. Besides that, I got Ian here once a week, and I go out food shopping. That's it. Maybe I'll have a lady friend over on a rare occasion. Can't really go out anywhere. Like that's about it. So So I go there, and it's like the last 20 minutes when you go to a supermarket, it's like everyone's cleaning up, and they can still serve you, but they're starting to clean up. And the people though and I lived this lifestyle. I was a cashier when I was 16 at a supermarket. It's the worst job ever, especially when I was making 505. But at the end, like you'll just start, maybe you'll buy stuff for yourself, and there's nothing to do in the last 15 minutes. There's like 10 customers in the store at most, 5 customers. So I'm getting ready to check out. I believe I tried a couple of chicken egg roll things that were decent, and I bought like Clausen pickles because once you're at the supermarket, I'm like, I gotta buy something.
Yeah.
So it was I don't know if she was cute or not because she had a mask on. She's probably like 20 years old, 19, 20, 21, 5'1". She must be at most weighed $120, like just smaller young lady. And she's like hustling to get snacks at the end of her shift, I guess. And I'm watching her because she's like in front of me. And it was comical. She had, besides other things, 4 large, thick cheesecake wedges and like individual little plastic things. She had them stacked up. It was so comical because she was short. She almost like dropped them. She was rushing to get the checkout, and then she picked up a couple of things on the way. Like it was either
which grocery store was this?
The local one right here. I don't want to give away my location, Ian. Anyway, so she had four like that, and she's like juggling them as she goes, and so I'm letting her go. It's kind of funny, but then I realized like, oh, she's buying this all for her. So I did not say this as a criticism of her weight. I swear to God, it was the fact that she was short and she had 4 thick slices of cheesecake. I can barely eat 1 slice of cheesecake, barely. So I said to her, wow, I said, I hope you're not going to eat all that. I said that.
God, Patrick.
I think I said it nicer than that. I said it like this. I said, is that all for you? I think I said it like that. Or I said, I hope that's not all for you. Because I was thinking about how full I get when I eat cheesecake.
Yeah,
how can you eat 4 of them?
Okay.
How can you eat 4 of them, right?
Good. Great.
So she turns to me. This is after she checked out. She turns to me. She went back to her cash register next to her. And she turned to me and she goes, well, what if I am? And so, but I think she was kidding because I was kind of kidding. But there was also like a little like, don't cake shame me in there as well. And all I said was, well, you have like a pound of cheesecake. That's all. I think it was good natured. I wasn't trying to, it was a moment. There was no one else really in the store. It wasn't in front of anyone.
Don't
at that
comment
point.
on people's cake buying.
I won't cake shame anymore. I'm sorry. I apologize.
Don't do that.
I apologize. I was not. It's a lot of cheesecake. That's all I'm saying. That's a lot of cheesecake to put down. That's a lot of cheese. That's all I'm saying about that.
Okay.
I cake shamed.
All right.
I told you it'd be awkward.
That was. I feel uncomfortable.
It wasn't good fun. I don't think she was that mad. I'll see her again soon. I'm sure. I'll buy her a piece. Here's the thing. I can eat 4 pieces of chocolate cake. Mm-hmm. I can pound that. Yeah. Cheesecake? No. You got to pump my stomach for cheesecake. So we missed out a Nintendo Direct, Ian.
We did miss a Nintendo Direct. We did. You're so right. So there was a Nintendo Direct last week, Wednesday. This was right after we recorded. Of course.
A lot of companies watch for the podcast and do their announcements the Wednesday after the podcast.
Because they know that we're biting. And
they know.
Yes.
We're straight shooters. I'm already heated up for my cake story.
Yeah. All right. Hot-blooded. Check it and see.
100 degrees, 1,000 degrees. I liked the Nintendo Direct, Ian.
I did too. So a lot of people, I think a lot of people were fairly happy with this Nintendo Direct. But I did see a number of people complaining. There's always going to be people complaining. That's what I understand. There are a number of properties that have not been touched in a while that people really would like to see new entries for. Or there's games in development that people would like updates on, such as Metroid Prime 4 or
a what?
Updates. Or the new Zelda.
There's a new Unsolved Mysteries podcast, by the way.
So yeah.
Check it out. It's official.
Might have to try that. But if you just go by what was announced, I think it was pretty good. There was some good stuff in here. I'm just going to go through and rattle off the stuff that I found personally interesting.
32 games they announced. According to this article from
announced or updated, or is it just
or both?
Yeah,
or mentioned.
The Saga Frontier remaster is probably the one that I am most excited for. That's a great PlayStation 1 RPG by Square Enix. Weird systems.
I like how you lead with the one that people will never expect us to bring up first, but okay.
I'm just going from the bottom up to the top.
I'm like, which one was that again?
It's the one that I'm most excited for. And then Legend of Mana, another beautiful PlayStation 1 RPG by Square, is getting a port. And I like the fact that they didn't touch the art, really, because that game is beautiful to begin with. And I really just want a nice way to play it on a modern system. Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity is getting an expansion pass. Project Triangle Strategy, I think, was one of the big ones that they announced.
That was one of the few I said, okay, this looks it's interesting because it's a strategy game. Is it turn-based or is it?
It's turn-based strategy. It looks like it's going to be similar to something like Final Fantasy Tactics, but it's being done in the same art style that Octopath Traveler was done,
which was also a name they stuck with. That I was surprised. So this might be the name they go with.
I'd be fine with Project Triangle Strategy.
Triangle Strategy game coming soon. It's just funny that they get to this far in development, they don't have a name ready to go. I just think it's funny.
Well,
because because when Octopath Traveler was announced, I said, "There's no way that's going to be the name of the game." It's such a weird name.
I remember,
but it was.
So they there was a brief thing like when they that they showed when they showed the video for Triangle Strategy. It said something like part of the HD 2D series. So it seems like this is a graphical style that they want to keep going with, and I really like
HD. So it's like a fake 2D. It's really 3D.
It's that interesting 2D 3D diorama
above 16-bit. It's like that 16 to 32-bit, whatever.
Whatever it is, it's cool looking. I like it. No More Heroes 3 had a trailer. I think that's the first official trailer for the game. That's a really fun series by Suda51. It started on the Wii. Play as Travis Touchdown.
I've never played one of these games, but
they're very, very strange. They're fun.
Violent and strange.
Yeah, full of references to wrestling and anime and stuff like that. Weird story. The first one on the Wii did a lot of like fun stuff with the controller where, you know, you're playing and as you're approaching a boss, you suddenly hear like something ringing and you look down and it's the remote and you have to lift the remote to your ear. And it, like, it's a very strange
It's a
game.
weird Nintendo sort of, that Nintendo pushes these, you know.
Yeah.
It's kind of a weird thing compared to everything else.
Killer 7, which was one of his other big games, was initially released on the GameCube, and it was really popular.
So what they did not announce, Ian, was the Super Switch. That was not announced. Some people you thought maybe would get announced, and no, that's not going to be probably this year. At this point, it'd be shocking.
No, I don't. Yeah, I figured they would have announced it early for summer release. I don't think they'll announce it midsummer for Christmas, so I think it's probably at least another year. And I will say I'm surprised. I didn't necessarily, not like disappointed, but just like I said, with how Nintendo reiterates their handheld hardware, and I know this is both, but with how they reiterated it, I figured it was due for one.
But when sales are not slowing down at all, it's like why? Like why bother? Like,
sure, I guess you don't need to put that money into R&D if people aren't.
They can just wait on it, or maybe they are. They're just going to wait. I mean, obviously, the advance in the chip technology the past 5 years since they probably locked that chip tech down. I mean, they can probably do it whenever they want.
Yeah.
So they didn't do that. They didn't announce. I had people like Sean from Reserved Investments clamoring for a new F-Zero.
Yes, I have a friend who really, really wants that too.
I want an F-Zero as well.
I'd love to see it.
Some people thought they would announce a new Mario Kart, which is crazy because there's no reason to do a new Mario Kart because 8 Deluxe is like awesome. And they're still going to sell tons of those.
Yeah.
Splatoon 3, they announced that was like one of their end cap ones, which was interesting.
The big ones for me were Splatoon 3, the RPGs I mentioned, and this is my big one, Mario Golf Super Rush.
Oh, we'll get to that in a second because that looked incredible to me.
It looks fantastic.
In terms of Skyward Sword HD, they announced that. I guess that's coming out within, was that by May? When was that coming out? But that's going to be a fairly fairly short in the future. Then they basically said for the Zelda's Breath of the Wild sequel, hey, we have nothing to say right now. I know you're waiting on this. We'll circle back later in the year. So that'll probably come out this year, I would think, if they said circle back later this year. I don't think they would string you along too much with that. But the fact that they knew people wanted to hear about it. It's Zelda's 35th anniversary. They really didn't do anything for it, which I was surprised. I postulated, and Ian did, maybe a Game & Watch Zelda release for the 35th as well, or something, but there was no like Mario HD pack for Zelda. There was none of that. It was just Skyward Sword HD, the Calamity stuff, and then we'll tell you about the new Breath of the Wild sequel later in the year.
I have a feeling they're not done with the 35th anniversary stuff for Zelda. A lot of people are like,
well, they missed out, right?
well, I mean, 35th, you can say it's all year. They celebrated the Mario shit all year.
Yeah,
long.
but they had it ready to go. they had it ready to go.
I still think that's something we might see as we get closer to Christmas. Maybe another release similar to 3D All Stars. Maybe not, though.
Yeah, well, Skyward Sword, they already took care of that. They're going to charge you. People are annoyed about the $60 for these HD re-releases. I'm like, well, if you like the game, you like the game. You want to buy it, you buy it.
Yeah, that one's kind of a big shrug to me. I'm just not that interested in certain Zelda entries.
Never played it.
I do think giving you the option to use the right analog stick as opposed to the motion controls is
you can,
really cool.
Either or.
I think that could be a lot of fun, honestly.
Oh, sure. They said, what is it, like you just use the right Joy, kind of go right or up or down?
Yeah, so you can aim your blade, because it looks like a lot of the combat and some of the puzzles are based around that.
Combat. And before we get to the big one, Mario Golf, I was kind of impressed early look at Knockout City. I was like, oh, what is this? Like another squad shooter that looks like a Fortnite. And I'm like, oh, it's a dodgeball squad game. That's a little bit more interesting than just a shooter. And you can pass the ball and knock out the other players. The problem is this trailer probably does not do the game justice. It's not a good trailer because you have all these weird like stand-ins for video game characters like Princess Peach and like an orc from Warcraft. And I'm like,
I thought it was an awful trailer.
I want to learn about the game. The game looks cool.
I'm going to be honest with you. The trailer was so bad that I had this on at work that I walked away and did something else. And when I saw you talking about Knockout City and dodgeball, I was like, what the fuck is that? And I was
didn't realize it.
I was like, that's the trailer I walked away from because I didn't care.
It's a bad trailer. It's almost like they took like notes from Wreck-It Ralph, because they have like the one character who's like the armored female character from Wreck-It Ralph. It's just like the one. It was a takeoff of stuff like that. And it's a bad trailer, but I want to learn more about the game mechanics. I tweeted, I want to learn about the game mechanics. Like, what is the actual goal? To knock out the players? Is it like what do you do? Is there like a jail where if you get knocked out, you get like
jail?
Well, like
it's funny the way you said it.
You know what I mean? Like if you get knocked out of the game, can you save me?
Mm-hmm.
Or do I have to catch a ball? Tell me about the game. It's a bad trailer, but I actually want to learn more. I'm
very excited for Monster Hunter Rise as well. I don't have much more to say about it other than that's going to eat away at a shitload of my
Did that
time.
movie come out yet? The Monster Hunter movie?
I don't know. I thought it came out in China and then they pulled it off screen.
Believe it or not, you can see it locally right now. Is this local? But I literally showtimes for Monster Hunter and it's playing.
Okay, cool.
At the Sinopolis. What the hell is Sinopolis? Is that okay? Let's talk about Mario Golf.
I think Sinopolis is south of the border. I think that's
that's where it's playing right now. I guess that's where the only place it's playing.
Okay.
Go to Tijuana, you can see Monster Hunter.
Mario Golf.
This is a game that Ian was clamoring for. We haven't had a console release since the GameCube for this. So we kind of skipped some couple generations.
No, there was one for the Wii, wasn't there? No, there wasn't. I guess there wasn't.
Mario Golf Wii? If there was, I would have had it, probably, because I would have played it.
Yeah, no, I'm thinking about the one on the 3DS. That's what I played it on most recently.
Was it on the Wii U? Did we miss one?
No, it was not on the Wii U. It was on the 3DS.
The one for the Wii comes up as Mario Golf 64 that you could probably buy for the Virtual Console.
Okay, so yeah. So there hasn't been a console release
of it. It's been like 18 years since GameCube. So this is the third one if you don't count the handhelds. So how does it look to you?
It looks fantastic.
Ian loves golf games.
I adore golf games.
I like golf games too.
Along with fishing games. Those are like the two game types that I absolutely adore, and people are like, why? Because I would never do either of those things in real life. I would never go golfing in real life.
Really? I'd try it. Pitch and putt? I never did pitch
putt. I mean, like, sure, mini golf. Why not?
Pill pitch and putt's not mini golf.
Par 3. I think that's par 3, yeah. Sure, I'd do that. So I think it looks really good. One of the things that I like about golf games, modern golf games, and especially the Mario golf games, they really teach you kind of the science of golf with the
science,
the way that you can, they're getting better at showing you the effects of saying top spin, back spin, side spin, what happens when you slice your ball, all the meters that they're starting to show, like the
includes the spin on the ball, not just the strength.
Or like the new meter for Mario Golf Super Rush, kind of like the power meter also curves to kind of show you where your ball's gonna go. So basically, they're getting really good. They
dumbed it down.
They're getting really good at dumbing it down.
Dumbed it down.
Putting all the indicators on there, so you can really focus on
your shot,
and just kind of, I would say, almost experimenting a little bit by giving you these indicators. A lot of modern golf games have made me more confident at playing the games without the indicators, I guess, as the time goes on, if that makes sense. They do a really good job of teaching you how the ball is going to react in different conditions, and that's something I really like about modern golf games. And then the Mario golf games just do that, and they wrap it all up in a cute little wrapper.
Fun characters with different attributes,
right?
And different modes, and it's golf games are relaxing to me the same way. I used to play. I had a computer one. It might have been pirated. It was an EA computer one on a 3.5 from probably '94. I loved the hell out of that game. It's hard. It's very hard at this point to screw up a golf game because all the mechanics are the same in every golf game with your three touch meter. Like it's hard to screw it up. It's just what are the features, how's the presentation, right? How many different courses do you have and different modes?
The only time these golf games ever really stumble is when they try to stray from the three click
start, power, accuracy, slice versus hook on the ball, on the center of the ball. That's it.
A really good one that I've always enjoyed is the Hot Shots Golf series, also now known as Everybody's Golf. And
that's an awful name change.
Or Everyone's Golf. That's what it was called in Japan, and they called it Hot Shots here, and then they just universalized the name.
Hot Shots Part 2.
But the Mario golf games, the Mario sports games in general, usually try to offer some sort of story mode. The most recent Mario Tennis Aces has a story mode. Mario Golf on I think it's the Game Boy Color, famously has a really fun RPG mode, and it looks like they're going to be adding a story mode to this one again too. So that'll be fun. But what looks most exciting, or at least freshest, that had people talking, was the speed golf mode.
Yeah, so this is going to be a mode which I love to see this in real life. They probably have events in real life where
I'm sure
it's speed. You all hit at the same time. You rush to the ball. You hit it again, and I'm surprised no one ever gets knocked out by balls hit in the air. And you all playing at the same time. Basically, it doesn't matter how many shots you take. You just got to. It's all speed. It's amazing.
And it shows in the Mario version of it, you will be able to use items like you would in Mario Kart to knock out people as you run from position to position.
So you leave like a banana peel on the course?
The trailer shows like Luigi use a an ice flower or something, and then throw a ball at Princess Peach and slow her down.
So we'll take what most regard as the most boring sport, and we'll gussy it up. And we'll make it fun with Mario characters. This will be a surprise hit. I'm not surprised if people are going to buy this, but I think this could be a bigger seller than what people think. They might get into this, I think.
I think they will. Yeah.
Because it's been so long. This might be, it's so old, it's now fresh, you forgot about it for this generation. And it's like with these characters, you can almost do any type of game. Right?
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, all of them are successes. I mean, maybe the Olympics one isn't that big of a success versus the others.
I have them. They're simple, they're silly, but they pump them out. As a matter of fact, I have the Switch one. It's like those Olympics are not going to happen. I can't imagine they're going to happen.
Oh, this year?
Yeah. Do you think they're going to happen?
I think they're going to make it happen. I think they will.
Either way, still, I have the only 2020 Olympics games that actually happen.
They'll do some DLC. Yeah,
2021 update.
Now that I think about it, where is the Mario dodgeball game? That would be a big. Come on.
There was one in Mario. There was one in Mario Sports Mix on the Wii.
Oh, okay. Yeah. A little simple one with different powers and attributes.
It was either in the Wii Mario Sports Mix or the 3DS one, but yeah, there was a simple dodgeball game.
So this one you can add your own. What is it? You use your own Mii. You can do a story RPG, like a golf story game. Basically, you walk around. I said, okay, we'll do that. Why not? Golf Story did it. We'll do our own, but now with Mario characters and Goombas talking to you. So, yeah, I will get this game. This will be a big multiplayer game.
Yes.
I will play Ian on speed golf with others online.
I will play you in regular golf.
Okay. Well, scratch golfer, Ian. We bet some money on each hole.
Yeah, we'll put money down.
We'll be like Michael Jordan. 25 grand a hole. That lunatic. That's how he does it. 25 grand a hole might be actually low. Actually,
it's the only way he can feel anything anymore.
Is gambling.
High stakes golf gambling.
You see that documentary? He was betting the guy.
I did not watch the documentary.
It's a great documentary. Michael Jordan is such a competitor. That's why I love him. There's like 1% of me and Michael Jordan. Just 1%. I can't dunk. He's competitive at everything. There's one moment in the film where he's betting how close you can bounce a quarter to the wall with one of the ushers in Chicago arena wherever the Bulls played, and then the guy beats him. Just a simple thing. They probably bet like $5 or $20. The guy beats him. Jordan was so fucking pissed he lost to this guy that he could buy and sell 1 billion times, that he beat him at a dumb game of hitting a quarter against the wall. Like, Jordan was fuming. Like, he couldn't even take it in stride. That's how competitive a nut Jordan was. And is. Like, it's a great moment in the film because the guy's like, he did the Jordan when he hits all the threes, he's like that. And Jordan's just like, you fucking asshole. You beat me for $5. And that's how Jordan is. It doesn't matter the dollar amount. Sorry. Back to Mario Golf. I'm in. I'm Mario Golf. I'm in.
All right.
All right. Anything else that we didn't miss from this roundup that looks interesting?
I think a lot of it looks interesting. I think that
Star Wars Hunters they announced.
I don't think they showed anything on it. It was literally just a fucking teaser, a worthless, dumb teaser trailer that accomplished nothing.
I'm guessing that'll be a Nintendo exclusive.
No, I think it actually said it was going to be on multiple things.
Okay, Stubbs the Zombie coming there. That actually
heard it's a great game. It used to be an Xbox. It was an original Xbox exclusive for a long time. A
reverse zombie game where you have to infect people and eat their faces. I guess that's fun. And then how about Capcom Arcade Stadium? We're a retro game themed podcast. How do you think that looks? Is it?
I looked into it.
Okay.
It's I think $40 to download the whole thing.
How many games is that?
I think it's like 40. I think it's like 37 or 40.
Okay.
Not sure. The game list is nice, but honestly, the Steam kind of got taken right out of my sales for it because all of the beat 'em ups from the beat 'em up collection are peppered into the other packs.
Sure, and you already bought them.
And I already bought them.
So there's Trojan, Legendary Wings. That's probably been re-released before. 1942, which you always get. So is that Section Z? Mostly these are the arcade versions, so that's good. We don't want the crappy console ones.
No, they're all arcade versions.
Bionic Commando, I prefer the NES one for that, to be honest. 1943. Yeah, Ghosts and Goblins. So Strider. So to me, this is all about the value at this point, right?
Sure. I mean, it's a good game.
Final
list.
Fight. I bought that beat 'em up collection like you did.
There's a lot of games, but yeah, I'd be buying a lot of the same games again. Some of them I'm not super interested in. However, the last pack has Pro Gear and Gigawing on it, which are two great shooters. So I would probably buy that one eventually, but I haven't jumped into it yet.
Okay, so not all of these have been released before, but some of these are on the beat 'em up.
Yeah,
or another like either Street Fighter 2 they just throw on there because they own the rights to it.
Yeah, there's a lot of filler.
There's Captain Commando on there. There's
literally every beat 'em up from that.
Is it literally every one?
Yeah, every single one is in that collection somewhere.
Super Street Fighter 2. So you get all the Street Fighter 2. So So yeah, to me that's all about price. If it's $20, it's no brainer. $40, I'm not going to play half of these games.
If I didn't have all the beat 'em ups, and if I was more into playing Street Fighter 2 over and over again, it would be a much easier sell.
I don't hate the 1942 series. I don't want to play 5 or 6 different 1942 games from that era. I'm not interested in it.
No, I don't need that many either.
That's the thing. So all right, well that's our retro game topic here that they announced here. Oh, and the Ninja Gaiden Master Collection. They're gonna get those on there and remaster those bad boys. I've never played any of those before. The newer Ninja Gaidens.
Neither have I. Looks like a good time to try it.
All right, Ian. We love to talk about BlizzCon.
We love it.
We're famous for it.
We're famous for talking about BlizzCon. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on BlizzCon.
No, we shouldn't.
But I do love Diablo. I mean that seriously. That's always been the funny thing for me when it comes to the whole Diablo thing. It's like, if you were a fan, you'd understand. I fucking love Diablo. But Diablo 2 is getting a remaster. this is something that everyone basically knew was coming, but they just hadn't officially announced it, so they finally did. It looks pretty great, honestly. They are redoing what used to be like 2D like those weird like rendered sprites, kind of like how like Donkey Kong Country did, where you make sprites out of like pre-rendered CG.
Yeah.
They're turning it into full 3D models. I think there's going to be a toggle to go back and forth. They said under the hood, the game is basically going to run exactly the same.
What about the toggle? What about the toggle?
And they are largely, I guess they said, not touching anything. And it looks like they learned some lessons from the Warcraft 3 problem, where the Diablo 2 Resurrected, the remaster, will stand alone on its own. It will not replace Diablo 2 on Battle.net.
Okay.
People were real upset when that Warcraft 3 Reforged or whatever it was called came out, and it ended up replacing.
Yeah, that's stupid.
Yeah.
Just have it
let it be two separate things, so if people are upset. And then there was a couple other things that happened that were announced, and honestly, I don't... just have no real interest.
Well, Diablo 4.
Diablo 4 looks fucking fantastic.
They're never going to make that because they're also doing multiplayer. Oh, no, they're always were developing Diablo 4.
Yes.
That's right. Because they have different people working on different things. That's how companies work.
Looks good. And
that's how huge companies worth, I don't know, $1 billion can function. They can have multiple dev teams working on different things, children. That's how it works. Sorry.
I thought the announced trailer for the Rogue was good. That's probably the first class that I'll play as. And then there was some...
What's the Rogue class? Is it like a quick little thief little guy?
It's the dexterity-based class. And this one is going to be able to do ranged attack or melee. And each class is getting like some unique attributes. Well, of course, they always get unique attributes.
I was going to say...
But more unique attributes. This character will be able to... apply status effects to all their weapons.
So we don't know when 4's coming out yet? Next year?
2022 at the earliest is what they're saying.
Earliest.
Which I think is a smart way to announce something. Instead of saying 2022 is the release date, at the earliest you'll get it in 2022. So
then you can tie yourself with the remaster. And then I actually saw some people say Diablo Immortal looked decent. Some people were saying on the timeline, hey, it looks all right. You know, I can play Diablo on the toilet.
I have no interest in playing a mobile phone hack and slash RPG. None.
You corporate shill. Oh no, that's right. You said the opposite.
Yeah. So yeah, that's BlizzCon.
That's BlizzCon. That's what we do it every year. It's a tradition. You want to talk about the HyperCon Square console, formerly Junior, getting pre-order? You don't care.
I don't.
We mentioned this. Was it last year when they announced it? A year and a half ago, or a year ago?
Yeah.
It's a HyperGame console to play Game Boy and what GBA games.
I will mention this. That's strange. If you look at the specs on it, it says that GBA is in beta. Which is weird because the Retron 5 did Game Boy Color, and Game Boy Advance, and it also did it through.
And that
emulation.
came out like 7 years ago. That's 6 years ago.
It's old.
It's been a
at
while.
this point. So people are kind of wondering why GBA would be in beta, and the only thing I can think of, and I don't know this for certain, but the only thing I can think of is that after the whole open source emulator debacle, maybe they moved to in-house emulators, and this one's not up to snuff.
Or going through the deal to license it properly.
Well, sure, but then that wouldn't explain why GBA is suddenly back in beta.
Don't know.
So weird. I mean, if this thing does what it says on the tin,
there's a market for this.
There's a market for it. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I don't like it, but there's a market for it.
$75,
and I don't really care how people play their games as long as they're playing the games they want to play.
It's a cube. I think it's cute. Ian said it looked ugly, which is fine because he loves how the GameCube looks. It's a cube. I think it looks fine.
So
it looks cute to me. I think it's going to be small and adorable.
My friend Kelsey pointed out that it's small, and I somehow did not realize that when you look at
the controller.
I thought for sure that was just a badly aspect picture. Yeah, but then I'm like, no. I mean, that's a cartridge slot that's almost as wide as the entire thing.
It's going to be like 4 inches, probably.
And it's a Game Boy size. So yeah, it is going to be kind of cute.
It's going to be like PC Engine sized.
It's probably a little bit cuter than I initially thought.
And then you get one controller, which is a 4-button controller with concave and convex buttons. Yes, I'm in just because of that. A proper.
Love how that controller has more buttons than you would need for Game Boy Color, or Game Boy Advance.
Well, Game Boy Advance is 4, right?
Yes, but there's shoulder buttons too.
Turbo it up, Ian.
Turbo it up. Turbo
Who's
and Ozone.
You're the only person who complain about having too many buttons, really, versus not.
I just think it's funny.
Well, they've
Got the mold.
They got the molds. We're not going to take away buttons. You know, give you more options is better than less. Ian, right?
All right.
I give you options in the CU podcast, don't I?
All right.
No, I don't. He's got to show up and do the job.
All right. Mega SG.
So, real quick on Mega SG and Paprium. Paprium has a lunatic that did this game. We've gone over this.
Yes.
He's a fucking lunatic. With no proper updates, letting people know what's going on, and talking about weird shit like this is the greatest achievement ever for a Genesis game and things like that. And it sounds like a good amount of people by this point got their Paprium game, their beat 'em up game. What this guy did, and I confirmed this through the genius Kevtris, who worked on all his analog products. If you bought Paprium, not only it doesn't work on every single regular Genesis model, it's only certain ones. Paprium. Paprium was not working on the analog Mega SG FPGA console. Why? Because this developer specifically coded it to look for the Mega SG, not to play it on that. Because he's a dick. Because he's a dick.
Because he doesn't like the product. He doesn't think it's fucking pure enough.
Even though his game doesn't work on every regular Genesis console. So Kevtris released a firmware update and said, fuck you, idiot, and now you can play Paprium on your Mega SG. So he updated the firmware to basically get around that lockout. That's all. That's nothing to say about the quality of the game. This could be the best game ever. I don't care because the guy running it is a fucking screwball. Yeah, and fucks with people. That's it.
And there's a lot more to it. You go down that rabbit hole if you'd like.
Go down it. I don't think I've been more mad at something on the podcast the past 2 years than when we discussed that. Like, for real mad and angry and annoyed at the behavior of that individual out in France. And then there's a Super Nintendo race driving proto hack that has been released.
So there's been these SA1 I don't know if the word port or hack is right. I'm not super like I'm not super up on the terminology.
SA1's one of the enhancement chips that
was used in Super Mario RPG.
I'll tell you right now, get the list.
Super Mario RPG, it was used in. So this takes race driving, a notoriously choppy game with a very bad frame rate, and makes it look incredibly smooth. It's really interesting to see. And it clued me into the fact that this is not the only game that has had this done to it. There have also been SA1 versions of Contra 3 done. Gradius 3 was one of them, where by doing so, it completely eliminates the slowdown. That's in the standard releases of the game. So I didn't even know this was something that was going on.
So it gives like a CPU boost, basically.
Yeah, this was brought to our attention by SNES Central. And yeah, it's very cool. Definitely look up a video of that. For the 3 race driving fans out there, this is a definitive way to play it. This is more because it's a cool thing, Patrick. Not everyone. It's not cool. It's not because everyone's gonna go, yes, now my favorite game is finally playable.
I can do the loop-de-loop and 28 frames per second or 29 instead of 4.
To see.
I'm not. Hey,
cool for the sake of coolness.
You said was the Gradius on Gradius 3 had a lot of slowdown on the Super Nintendo? I haven't played it in a long time.
Yes.
Okay.
Notoriously shitty slowdown.
Okay. So this chip, I know it was used on I think on Top Gear 2000 it was used. I looked at a list. It was used in dozens of games. I didn't realize that. Like later, like PGA Tour 96.
Top Gear 3000.
So that's why the Super Nintendo, won that war against Genesis, because we can basically, all right, the Super Nintendo can't do it. We'll just make our chips to do this shit and put them on the cart. And there you go.
That's what they did with the NES too. I mean, by the end,
yes, with different mappers.
These cartridges are so
the
boosted and beefed up that,
trust me, I'm learning about mappers right now. Wink, and what they can and cannot do, and it sort of elongated the lifespan of the NES by probably like 4 years by being able to screw around with this stuff. If they couldn't do Kirby's Adventure on the NES, they would have moved on to the Super Nintendo probably 2 years before, what have you, or got it out quicker and not have elongated the life. All right. You know what's going to elongate my life, Ian? If you head over to ultimatenintendo.com, because there you can purchase an Apple Pins. RBI baseball stickers, certain Super Nintendo and NES guidebooks, and T-shirts. You didn't like that segue. I'm getting better at this to plug the store. The sale's done on the shirts. Thanks to everyone who got a percentage off on the shirts.
I'll turn it into marijuana and booze. Thanks for your money. Turning it into drugs and alcohol.
What the hell is this? What's with these fingers, Ian? These
are the evil fingers.
These ball tickling fingers.
Ball tickling fingers.
Grundled tickling. And I'll be on Twitch Wednesday night. I'm gonna try to do it 4:30 Pacific time. That's 5:30 Mountain time through the mountain. Because I have poker tomorrow night. Twitch.tv/CountryCode there. Dinosaur Planet. N64 game, the legendary Dinosaur Planet.
The legendary Dinosaur Planet
was we had a beta leak, a lot of beta talk.
So this is one that I have not looked into as much as I would actually like. I remember when the 64 came out.
Remember the time.
I didn't own one until late in the 64's lifespan. I only owned it for a short period of time so I could play the hell out of No Mercy. That's what it was. I was trying to remember. I always think WrestleMania 2000 is the last of that line, but it's not. No Mercy is the last of that line.
No Mercy is the crown jewel.
The crown jewel of the AKI WWF games. But Dinosaur Planet was a game that was in development by Rare, and it looked to heavily bite off of the 3D Zelda style. But it was new characters on a planet with dinosaurs, and I was just like, holy shit, this is actually something I really want to play.
6-year-old Ian would love to be.
I was not. I was absolutely not 6 years old.
No,
at the time.
But thank you. A 6-year-old Ian would be cavorting with dinosaurs. I love dinosaurs. Every kid loved dinosaurs when we were kids. You had little plastic little guys. We loved dinosaurs. Jurassic Park was in the 90s.
I really wanted Space Dinosaur Zelda. Like I was like, this is actually a game that could get me.
Working title: Space Dinosaur Zelda.
I could totally buy an N64 for this, but it just kind of fell off, and not much was said about it after a while. And then it was basically brought back for the GameCube and turned into Star Fox Adventures, a game that I bought and I guess enjoyed a little bit.
Because you still had space dinosaurs, right?
Yeah.
A little bit?
Yeah, there's dinosaurs in space, and I just, that came out at a time where I was not playing many games. So it missed its window of opportunity with me. But a very full playable beta has leaked. And I believe most of the story is intact, and people have been going through it and seeing the differences between the version with Star Fox shoehorned in and the original idea.
So in this version, it's a Fox character. This is like during the conversion process, I take it, because the guy looks like Fox McCloud with like denim jeans on, right?
I don't know. You got denim jeans on.
But this looks like they already started the transition of oh yeah, he says I'm Fox McCloud. Okay, yes. So this is the transition. This is like the in between of changing it into the game.
Yeah.
Got it. All right. Maybe Pat should look at the screenshot text and not be an idiot. So we don't have. This is a pretty later version then of this game. It's still not super early, but this is still a nice sort of spot in the development cycle where you can say, okay, we decided to, put a different IP on this. So you can play this. I think it has to be. There's a little hack to get it to work on a flash cart, from what I read.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you can play it on an emulator. But it will not currently run 100% perfectly on an emulator, because the N64 emulation sucks. Once again, it's not perfect. It's not close to perfect. You're never going to get it perfect. It'll be the last one in 100 years. They might get close to it. With what the hell is it? What's the next line of computing power we're getting to right now, where it's like 1,000 times the computing power currently? Quantum CPUs, whatever the hell it's called. Am I just talking out my ass? Probably. So are you going to check this out, Ian?
I would like to at some point, yes.
So what was the other thing I was going to say about this? It was purchased from Force of Illusion. That purchased a disc from a private game collector in Sweden that had a build of Dinosaur Planet on it from December 1st, 2000. So we're lucky that we were able to pull this, because you can have bit rot on a CD. And this is the danger of these private collectors hoarding this shit. I'm just glad that it's more and more we are for free, we are getting to the point where we can get this stuff. I would almost would have preferred if Force Illusion did not say they paid for it. Because it becomes a whole terrorist thing. Don't negotiate with terrorists, sort of thing. Just say, hey, we acquired it. Because now someone else has something they might have released before for free. Oh, maybe I can regain my investment on it, even though I bought it for nothing back in '98.
I just want to get out of it when I put it into it.
Let's get out what I put into it, like it's a fucking car that you restored. Jesus Christ.
It's one of my least favorite arguments ever.
Oh my God.
Pinball people use it all the time.
It's ridiculous.
I just want to get out of it.
I want to get out of my Gateway 2000 computer, what I put into it. No, it's worth what it's worth. It's less than the sum of its parts.
Yep.
What are you talking about here? Mortal Kombat, Ian.
Yes.
I keep forgetting over the past year that they were doing a new movie for Mortal Kombat. Somehow I just kept forgetting about it.
Yeah, I watched the trailer.
Test your might, Ian.
It looks like it will be decent.
I think it was pretty good.
I'll watch it.
I'm not a big Mortal Kombat guy, but I saw the first movie in movie theaters. It's regarded as the first good video game movie, the first Mortal Kombat.
I love the first one. Watch it about once a year with Bonnie. It's a good time. The thing I like about Mortal Kombat is I like the games, but I like the absolute stupid stories more than I like the games, I think. So I think Mortal Kombat is prime for movies, TV shows.
Well, they had the TV show. Remember?
Yeah.
They had TNT. They were terrible after the second movie came out.
Yeah. But it's...
And the cartoon. They made a cartoon somehow.
It's one of those properties that I do think lends itself very well to movies and other spin-offs, comics, stuff like that.
You lose a lot if it's not R-rated like this.
Sure.
There's only so much you can dance around, like in the Mortal Kombat movie, not having an R rating.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, I mean...
Harder to do the fatalities. You know, you can do, he's on fire, but you can't do the blood fatalities and gore stuff. And
yeah, so this trailer clearly shows quite a bit of blood and guts. It's going to definitely visually look like the games in that regard.
So they have a new character, like what do you call him? It's a bridge character for the audience, named, what is it, Cole? It's an MMA guy that has a tattoo on him. No, the tattoo means you got to fight in this tournament, or you're like one of the Earth Realm defenders, what have you. Along with they're changing a little bit because now I think Kano is a good guy in this, hanging out with Sonya.
I mean, he might not be a good guy. He might just be... Why? I don't know.
Well, no, he's part of the crew that's walking around. He's part of the crew walking around with Jax and Sonya and Liu Kang.
Perhaps they're unlikely allies. Okay.
So
I don't know.
That doesn't bother me that much. I think the characterization looks okay. I'm interested in the new character. You have to have it's a character to tell you the story. It's a fish out of water. So I'm not, that doesn't annoy me. Some people are saying, where's Johnny Cage? I get that. They'll either cameo the guy or he'll be in the sequel. You know, that's the thing. Here's the thing about Mortal Kombat. If you take it totally seriously, almost everyone dies.
You can't take Mortal Kombat serious.
So like, there's like 4 fatalities we see here. If you look real quick, it looks like Kano's taking the heart out of, spoilers, of Reptile. Looks like, so Reptile bites the dust, but he's like a throwaway character anyway, right? So who cares? So someone point out another character is probably dead real quick. So you have to hold back some of these characters, or else they all get killed off within 2 movies, right? Some of the good guys die, some of the bad guys.
They all die and find ways to get resurrected. Time crystals, rewinding shit.
But that's the games, though. We're talking about a movie franchise. You know, it's hard to see someone get their head chopped off. Oh, they're back in the next movie. I guess you can do it, but this is going to be a franchise, probably, right? This movie?
I don't know. We'll see, won't we?
Well, it's going to come out April 16th in no theaters here, but I'm guessing you'll be able to buy it online. Is this a Warner Brothers thing on HBO Max? I presume. HBO Max is going to kill it this year. That's going to be the big hitter, that Disney Plus. HBO Max is ridiculous, all the movies coming onto it, including Zack Snyder's Justice League, Ian. New picture of Jared Leto, Joker Jesus. Jared Leto Joker Jesus.
Jared Leto Joker Jesus.
So they released an official picture of him.
Jared Leto Joker Jesus. Got a good cadence.
He's wearing a crown of thorns in a picture because that's
Jared
edgy.
Leto, Joker Jesus.
And we're hanging out in Hot Topic in '99, I guess, 2000, and that stuff's supposed to be cool. Like like
Zack Snyder knows one allegory.
we're pumping fucking effervescence, the rock in the back. Was that effervescence? Wake me up, wake me up.
That's evanescence. Effervescence is what happens when you drop fucking Alka-Seltzer into a glass.
Whatever the soundtrack of the Daredevil 2002 movie was, that's what we're back in right now, Ian.
Jared Leto, Joker Jesus.
It's ridiculous. Why do you think most people?
It's just running through my head at one stop.
Why would we think that seeing that would get people hyped to see this? Like, this could be a great miniseries movie. The 4-Hour Justice League. Jared Leto, Joker Jesus.
Jared Leto, Joker Jesus.
Why are you singing that in the same tone as "Shut Your Fucking Face, Uncle Fucker"?
I don't know. I think it's just an easy fucking tone to take
From the South Park movie. Which
never seen the South Park movie.
You've never seen the South Park movie?
Mm-mm. I have not.
Say what you want. They can write music. It's a musical, and it's they got nominated for.
We should have brought this up last week during our musical topic.
I should have. South Park, the movie's a musical. They got nominated. One of the songs got nominated for an Oscar.
That's one
Blame
for
Canada.
you, delicious hot.
You never heard of the Blame Canada song?
No.
They got nominated for an Oscar, literally.
Oh.
Yeah. Robin Williams performed it, rest in peace, on stage. I remember that for some reason, Academy Awards. He performed it because he had to do a live performance of an animated musical.
Yeah.
Thing. Didn't win, though. It's a good movie. It's a good movie. Anyway, Jared Leto, Joker Jesus. Watch. It's ridiculous. I think we have to watch this out of some weird, at this point, obligation. We have to watch this 4-hour movie experience just to get through it.
I don't have to go to a theater for it, and it's going to be broken up into four pieces, right?
From what I read, that they went back on that. It's just going to be a 4-hour experience. I mean, they give the option.
Oh, it's just one 4-hour fucking movie?
You think The Irishman's long at 3.5 hours? No. And this is not Scorsese. This is Zack Snyder. It's a little bit different. Scorsese knows how to pace. I don't think Zack Snyder probably knows how to properly pace a 4-hour movie.
Oh, wow.
All right. That's it for the intro, by the way.
All right, we're done.